I started van life when my rent was going up by $50 a week, and I really didn't know how I was going to survive that, especially with COVID and everything being locked down. Jobs were limited, and I was starting to panic a little bit, and my rent was going up by $50 a week, and I just couldn't understand or know how I was going to be able to afford that. My daughter actually that mentioned to me about van life, and so that night I got straight onto YouTube and started having a look at everything that I could, from starting to build out and how people were surviving in vans, and I thought, well, that's definitely for me. So it really didn't take me that long to pack up my house. My lease was actually due up within 6 weeks, and I thought, right, that's going to give me enough time. So straight away I went and grabbed a van, a little Kia Pregio, and I parked it in the laneway and I built it out in the 6 weeks that I had left on my lease. And then I sold everything within that time, and then I packed everything into the van and I started my van life journey. In the beginning, I was really nervous about staying in my van. So where my daughter was living, I would actually just go like around that area because it just made me feel safe, because I'd actually been living in that area also. So I would just park up on the side of the street, and even at the front of her house actually, just until I got the courage to go a little bit further. So every week I was in the van, I managed to get a little further away from her, and then eventually out of the city into the bush. And now this is my life. Hi, I'm Leanne, and this is Pat. He's a 2019 Ford Transit diesel automatic, and I think he's pretty cool. The red definitely stands out. I bought him back in April of 2025, and I built him out in my daughter's front yard. And I have been on the road with him since August. So I'm going to start right from the front of the van. We'll start from the front and go to the back. This is the Vanito Flynet. This is absolutely perfect. This keeps all of the flies and everything out. And the magnets on this are super, super strong. So, and I love how this just rolls up. So I can just undo it, and then it comes down. So they just connect all in onto there. And then it's just got the magnetic close. And I love that they're an Australian company, so that's Vanito. You should check them out. They make them to order, and they have a huge range. And the postage on this one only took for the fly screen, because I bought that separately. The fly screen came in, I don't know, it was in about a week. And then the blinds, she did have to make some of those, so they did take a bit longer, but definitely worth the wait, and I would highly recommend this company. And no, it's not sponsored. I bought them my own money. Everything in here I bought with my own money. I feel that living this lifestyle isn't for everyone. But in saying that, if you're thinking that maybe this could be something that you would want to do for whatever reason, I would just go out there and do it. Like, you can pop your stuff into storage. Storage is actually not that expensive. And then you can you know, take a bit of a chance and just go out there and just see what happens. I really love this lifestyle, and it's made me value not only everything that I have and everything that I've done in here myself, but it also makes me appreciate a lot more in life. It's made me really slow down and take in everything around me. And how could you not want to travel to places like this? Like, this is 7:30 in the morning. The sun's up, the surf's on. It's still a little bit cool, but it's gonna warm up soon. Okay, so starting from the front, these are my hats that I've collected. This was my original hat when I started van life. It's actually still my favorite, and I do pop this on every now and again, but I have upgraded to one that has kept its shape. I think this was from Will and Bear. They've got some really nice hats, and I ended up buying a couple for family and that as well, and they all really like theirs. So is it Will and Bear? Yep, Will and Bear. Now I've just got a simple hook with my bag on the back seat. Up here, I ordered the shelf through Vanito. They're a US company, and they send you the brackets that attach onto here. So you literally take the screws out of here and you put this metal bracket on, which holds the wood to make a shelf. It was a little bit expensive. I think it was about 260 Australian dollars after I had it sent to Australia. But the template for, they send the template so you can cut this to size, and then it just all slots in onto the brackets, and then you just screw it all in, and it's literally screwed straight into here. And then I've just popped this little bit of wood here just to keep everything nice and neat in there. It's currently got my winter clothes in here, which will be changed out shortly. I've also got all of my first aid kits, my snake kit, just in case, glasses, hiking extra stuff, depending on where I'm going. I'll take my little bum bag and fill it with what I need for what particular hike I'm going on. Up here I've got the Sirocco fans. These fans are absolutely amazing. They're a little bit more expensive than a normal, some of the fans on the market, but I have one at the front here and one just at the back over my bed, and I highly recommend them. They're so quiet, so when you're sleeping, you don't really hear them that much. And they actually do have a timer on them. So you can turn them on and you can set it to a timer for 30 minutes, 1 hour, 2 hours, and 3 hours, I think it is. And they have 3 speeds, and they're 360 degree. Like, this pops up and that moves as well. So yeah, I highly recommend them. This is my little spice rack, coffee rack, cooking oils, etc. Everything is in here nice and snug, and nothing has actually fallen out yet. So fingers crossed. I do actually have the non-slip. I have that everywhere throughout the van. That's actually on there as well. This is my spice rack, and these racks were just actually from IKEA. The metal knife holder is also from IKEA. They're not that expensive, and I've had these in my last 3 vans. The only time I have a problem with a knife falling off, you're going over corrugated road. That's the only time that these knives come off. Other than that, they stay on there. I don't have a problem with them. This is also from IKEA, and it's just got 2 screws directly into the bench, so it doesn't go anywhere. These have never fallen out. This is actually extension from my power. So I have the Victron Energy battery monitor, which is also Bluetooth to my phone, so I know what's going on with my battery, and you can see here it's already full. This is my inverter, so whenever I need to make 24 volt into 12, I just turn this on and then it can be plugged into just to a normal 24 240 volt socket. So I have the normal cigarette lighter here, 2 USB points, and that's my light switch. And then up the front I've also got the same, the cigarette lighter, so I can pop my fridge at the front of the van if I want to, because I've been using it as a seat also, or 2 USB, and then I've also got the light here. Probably one of the things I would change is the lighting. The light here, when I stand here and try and cook, it shadows the food. So what I've just done is I've just put in like a $2.99 light from Bunnings and just put some Velcro on the back. And that just works perfectly fine. So I also went with the Bushman's fridge and I put it on my bench. I actually seen a lady on YouTube and she had actually had like this little cooking nook and I just loved it. So I decided to put the fridge on the bench. It's a Bushman 65 litre and I much prefer this type of fridge than to the normal box one, like what I've got in the back, the freezer. It's super quiet. Like this is right near my head and it's kind of like having a fan on. It kind of puts me to sleep because it's not that loud. So this is actually, I highly recommend the Bushman fridge. I've had a couple of other variety of fridges and I've noticed that their compressors when they turn on and off are extremely loud, but the Bushman's fridge is very, very good. It was so easy to install. It just had an Anderson plug, and when I had the electrical system actually put in, the Anderson plug is in the back there, and I just plugged it in and it worked like, yeah, super easy. And it doesn't draw very much power. So I can have the fridge and the freezer on and the power system pretty much can do both fridges. No problem at all. It doesn't even, if it's, you know, even if it's an overcast day, it doesn't even budge on the battery. It doesn't even take anything from the battery. So I'm very happy with that. So I went with the Method METOD from IKEA. They're 40 centimeters wide by 60 deep, and I got 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. This here is just my pantry with all of my food, and also my gas cooker. I don't always cook with gas, but occasionally I do really enjoy having the gas on there. I just popped on like little bits of leftover wood, and these are actually leftover strats from the bottom of my bed, the bed base. I just put them on and it just kind of keeps everything in there, so when you're on the rough roads, nothing's going to hit the door and let it fly out. I do have magnets on the door, and on the drawers I have had to put these little hooks because they just kept flying open, so that just keeps everything in there. And cupboard, I've just got my cups and glass, some of my cookware, my plates and everything. I don't have any tin plates or plastic plates or anything like that, and I never have in any of my vans, and none of these have ever broken. So I prefer to have like real pottery, clay, whatever this is, to eat out of, and glass. Like I drink out of glass jars and stuff. So I much prefer that than to have plastic and stuff in here. So just some of my old fry pans and that, drink bottles, and my NutriBullet. Then in this cupboard here is all of my cooking stuff. So my kettle, my air fryer, my rice cooker, my crock pot, and this is my latest addition. I think this is so super cute, this little electric fry pan from The Good Guys. I just love it. It's so cute, and I cook everything in here, from frying French toast to my eggs in the morning to my steak at night. I love this. It's my new favorite toy. I've also got a milk frother in case I want hot chocolate at night. And under here I've just got my main first aid box, just with pills and potions for when you're sick. And that's that. This one here is holds all of my shower shampoos, tablets, you know, whatever you need. My shower bag, easily accessible, so I just grab that when I go to the shower. And being in a caravan park at the moment and having showers every day, I very appreciate that. It just takes a lot of the stress of trying to find enough water to shower in. It's just good. This little section here, because the fridge plug was at the back, I had to kind of come up with an idea, and my daughter actually came up with this idea just to have this little shelf here, which has come very handy because it holds all of my boards. And this board here was another cheese board that I picked up from Kmart. This is what I want to go on my lagoon table, but I'm just not sure where to put it. But it's there for when I decide where it's going to go. So that's where my battery and everything is, at the back here. And because I have grandchildren, and I didn't want them to be able to get and touch the battery or anything, so I've literally locked it in the back of this. I just have to screw it off to get to the fuse box and that in the back there. But this comes off, and I just have like a little bit of a secret compartment down here, and it just holds all of my paperwork, documents, receipts and stuff, my hammock, and some of my arts and crafts supplies of when I'm bored and I need something to do, and a little bit of extra cash in case, you know, for those times that you actually need cash. So that's my secret cupboard, and I'd appreciate it if you just kept it between us, okay? Don't go sharing that out. That's secret. And then I'll just pop the cushion back on. There is actually a bag under there, but as well, but you know, for this demonstration. And that just goes like that, and then I can use it as a seat. And then I have another seat on this side. So this here is if I move the fruit basket so it doesn't whack me in the head. This is also another seat. This is just drawers, and it just has my socks and bathers and stuff like that in there. But yeah, I probably sit here more because it's a bit more comfortable, and I really enjoy like being able to look out of the window there and look out the front, because normally I put the front of the van to what I want to be looking at, and I just love looking at everything around here. So yeah, that was just a bit of space that I needed something, and a seat kind of fitted in with the plan at the time. Then over here I just have a few little bits and pieces that I've picked up on my travels. And these fairy lights, I picked up these fairy lights a couple of years ago. These have been in every single van, and I think I picked them up around Christmas from IKEA. I have them here, and I also have them in a jar here. And they're the perfect amount of light for when you're stealth camping, or when you're getting ready to go to sleep, or you're watching a movie and you don't want too much light on. Just enough to see around, but not enough to, hurt your eyeballs. This picture painting was given to my mum by one of her neighbours, and when my mum passed away, this is one of the things that I collected from her house to put in here. And I just love it because to me it looks like a happy house. The eyes and the red lipstick, like, isn't it happy? I think it's happy. I really like it. These are just some of my bits and pieces that I've collected over the years from different parts of Australia. Then these cabinets are my pride and joy. So these cabinets, I didn't have them in my last two builds, and I just really wanted the cabinets up top. I thought that they were just such a great space saver, and I had a fair bit of this wood left over from like the shelves underneath and the flooring kind of thing. So I was watching a YouTuber, Linnea and Aquila, and she built hers out, and I probably watched her about 20 times to get the gist of how she was actually doing it. But they're working fine, and actually once I started building them, it was a lot easier once I kind of got the gist of what she was doing. And then I just put some gas struts on from Bunnings. So these are the 265 millimeter ones, and I think they were like $4.95 each. So I have one on this cupboard, one on this cupboard, and one on the kitchen cupboard. And just in there I've just got my t-shirts, my dresses, jewelry, jeans, exercise clothes, and work gear. And it's enough just to hold. It actually holds a lot. So I'm very proud of these cabinets. All of the door handles on all of the cabinets have been leftover little jobs from when I was in a house, and they've just been literally sitting in the bottom of my toolbox. So I was glad to finally get them out of my toolbox and get them all used up as well. So this is the other cabinet, and this just, it's random. It keeps changing of what I put in here. But it's just got, you know, like some honey, coffee, my laptop and computer stuff, camera gear in there, some incense, and, you know, that's my random shelf. And here's another little nook that I managed to be able to fit in. This is like a little craft table. I use this all the time, and I got that from Kmart in the kids section. And another little outdoor table. And then going into the back, that's my Dometic freezer and my Spinifex toilet, which I do use for number ones, not number twos. And my backup battery box for whenever I feel, or for whenever I need extra power, or say if I'm going somewhere. Oops, that's the wrong button. So easy to use, and the solar panels that were in the back, they're actually for here. So it tells me it's 99% done. So it's got the light on it. It's got wireless charging. It's got the ports for, which is great for the laptop, and the USB ports and that as well. And yeah, haven't not had a problem with it. I also have the portable shower, which works perfectly fine when I'm out in the middle of nowhere and I want to shower at the back of the van. It works great. Got my gas bottle all strapped in here. And yeah, this is just like some more summer clothes, some of my big jackets and photos that I don't want to get rid of. Can't get rid of them anyway. So just some shoes tucked in there. It works. Everything works. So on the roof, I have two 180 solar panels, which are flexi. So they're actually stuck to the roof of the van. And I wanted to do it that way this time, because the last couple of vans I've actually screwed, bolted them into the ceiling. And I've always had a little bit of drama with either the bolts breaking or having a leak in the roof. And yeah, these Ford Transits, they actually have connection points already installed in the back of the van, so didn't have to put in anything extra. The electrical system was done by Opposite Lock in Malaga, and it cost me, this is the most expensive one I've had so far, but I wanted to upgrade my system from my previous van. It was $6,990, and I think that's pretty standard, because I've actually looked in other states and what their battery capacity setups were from other YouTubers, and it all seems to be same. And I'm really happy that I went with them. I literally went into Opposite Lock and just said to them, this is what I want. I want all the electrical system just on one side, because I don't want to have to be trying to find, you know, if wiring, if something goes wrong, if, you know, I need to kind of look over here, because that's just a pain in the butt. So all of my wiring is here, my battery box is here, and all of the wiring is all on this side, except for these little lights. The lights, they actually, the wiring literally comes directly there. So I know where all the wiring is, so if anything happens, it's easy for me to fix. So there's 360 watts of power on the roof. I have a 2,500 watt inverter, which is plenty for all of the air fryer and everything I've got going on. So I can have the 2 fridges running, the air fryer and the rice cooker all happening at once, and it hasn't overloaded the system enough to, you know, do anything or flip a switch, or I don't know. It all works perfectly fine. And under here I have 3 100 amp lithium batteries, so it's 300 down there, and I also have it connected to the alternator DC charger, which I highly recommend for anyone, because when you're in like winter and, you know, you're not getting the full sun, etc., just going for a drive just tops up your battery, and it just makes life so much more easier. You can even if you have a battery box, you can still have a connection to your alternator to charge up your battery box, which, yeah, I think it's a great idea, so you're not always relying on the sun. That's all. I'm going to turn all these off. So the mattress is a memory foam mattress from Clark Rubber, and then I just have a firm mattress topper on top from IKEA, because I found that the memory foam was a little bit too soft for me. But at Clark Rubber, they will actually cut the foam to size for you, and they actually have caravan sized mattresses, or, you know, already pre-done, which is a little bit smaller than an average size double bed. So I got the double, and it was 188 by 122. I kept the 122, but because this is only 170 centimeters, I had to get them to cut, you know, quite a bit off. And that means, because I'm 174 centimeters, I get to sleep diagonally. But I've slept diagonally in all my vans, so like, it's no different. It's fine. So I'd have to say my favorite thing about this lifestyle would be that I get to take everything with me all the time, which when your van breaks down is a little bit annoying, but, you know, you just learn to deal with that. And I like that everything is with me. I can go anywhere, and I can still make a coffee. If I'm tired, I can still go to bed. I have all of my clothes and everything here if I need to get changed. And the other thing I really love about this lifestyle is I get to choose where I want to park and where I want to stay for the night, and what locations I want to wake up to. Yes, you do have to, when you stay in the city, stay in locations that aren't pretty. It's not all beaches and sunsets. Sometimes you do have to go into a car park, or, you know, park out the front of a high-rise building, or, you know, a block of units. You just do what you've got to do. But I rarely have to pay for any accommodation, and I'm really fortunate that I'm working at a caravan park at the moment, and I have all the amenities that I need, and I don't really have to do anything. Oh, the only thing my expenses at the moment, I rarely drive, and everything here is within 10 minutes of each other anyway. So like $50 worth of diesel has been lasting me. Oh, I just put $50 in yesterday, and I haven't put diesel in since I first came here, so like 3-4 weeks ago. And the other expense I have is my own food. That's it. That's all my expenses. Everything else, all the money I earn, I get to keep and bank so I can store it for my little adventures. Yeah. This is my sink setup. So it was just an IKEA sink, and you can actually buy these toppers from IKEA as well. And it was a little bit of a pain in the bum to find the bits of attachments to go underneath the sink, but eventually it happened. The pump action tap, which works perfectly fine for what I want. It's just cold water, but if I need hot water, I just boil the kettle. When I'm doing the dishes or when I'm cooking, I've got this extra little table here that I can just flip up. Now, this was just a cheese board from Kmart, and what do you call them? These adjusters, shelf adjusters, they were just from Amazon. And they were really cheap. I think they were about $15, and the cheese board was $16 from Kmart. So this is my water under cabinet setup. So this is my grey water. This just comes directly from the sink into this container. Then I just pull this container out and dump it in any of the dump points. And this one is the fresh water, which I just fill up and use for dishes or washing my hands or washing myself. A few little bits and pieces in the bottom here. Containers are great to have in your cupboards just to keep everything neat and organised. My little bin, a few little hooks to hold all the bits and pieces up on here, and then my little wire shelf which holds my hand washing soap, dish soap, bit of Dettol, etc. And it all just neatly goes into here with a little hook on there, and it works perfectly fine for me. So this is my organised, unorganised garage. These were actually on the back window, and I've taken them off to see if I like the windows just like that, because I've even been thinking of putting on the window with a little the glass with the little window on it. I just haven't decided yet. So I've been carrying them around. Yeah. So in the back, I've just got some shelves here that I made out of the leftover ply I had from the floor. And in that has just got my clothes and gas bottle, shoes, my little camp chair. On the back here, my bike helmet and my water filter, which you can check out my story for that. I have 40 litres of extra water in the back here, and I also have another 20 litre in the front under the sink, with another 5 litres of drinking water, which has like a filter inside the container as well. My site bag, when I was going on the mines, that just has a couple of my pants and leftover clothes from there. This is a lagoon table leg that I actually haven't decided where to put it yet. So I bought the tabletop, which is a cheese board from Kmart. Check out my stories for those little tips. But I don't know where to put it yet. This is just all of my tools that I have. A spare backpack for my laptop for when I need to go into a shop or a cafe or something and use up their Wi-Fi. 100-watt solar panel for my battery box, and some levelers, and just a fire extinguisher. My toilet is right in the back there, and I also have a 45-litre Dometic freezer in there as well, which I literally bought a couple of days before I had to come up for work, and I want it here with the drawer out, but I'll have to do that when I go back to Perth, because there's no way for me to buy it here unless I run into Albany. And my blinds, these are Vanito. They're an Australian company, and I got the whole van done, the front windows and also the fly mesh on the front door. It was over $1,000, but these are so good. So they literally just fold up. They all fold up really easily, and they have like these super strong magnets on them. So when you go to put them up, like this strap, you can, so it can become a bit of a handle. Oh, I'm too short. But it just blacks out everything and it keeps the weather out. And then in the morning, I just like open it like that, so people can't see what's under in my garage, but I can see out. So I've really been enjoying these blinds. What would I say to someone that was thinking about doing this? I would say, do it. Definitely do it. Yes, there's challenges. Yes, there's some adjustment to the life that you're going to be living, your new life. But all in all, it's kind of like the perfect life. I have a really good life.
Fail to see the beauty of being free. Don't forget what you love the most. I just wanna keep you close. So we have to give it one more try before the idiots are taking over. They're caught up in the race of wanting more, and we can tell one from the other. No one can tell you what they're running from. No one knows anymore. What's it for? What's it for?